in different dominions and different divisions of life when it comes to the power of the word, we know that it's important to speak life. And I know this is important because when people speak death and they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, as we see on the internet, people are hurt by words that are typed. People are triggered. People are moved by words. So if words can move us to say something hateful or to be divisive or to get upset, they also can move us to get some money, to make a dream, to live life in a joyful capacity. Y'all want to know what's so beautiful about the internet? Is that the internet is full of people who can inspire us, make us laugh, make us cry, make us angry, make us mad. And these people are actually people. If you've ever been in a chat room or you've been in the comment section of any video and you see people just saying the worst, the most wildest things or saying craziest things, it's easy for us to say, that's just the internet. These people are not real. But the thing is, some of these people are real. I assume that there are bots and there are people who have dedicated their lives to saying the most craziest things or the things that are so harmful and hurt people. But there are also people on the internet who have dedicated and contributed to this space with their talents and their thoughts and their creativity. And so today I bring that to the forefront because I'm sharing a piece of content from a creator named Franchesca Ramsey. If you're not familiar with Franchesca Ramsey, she is a TV writer, producer. She does it all. I'm going to put her bio up on the screen. I'm also going to put a link to her Instagram page so that you can check out her video because I requested permission to share this video with you all, and she said I can use a snippet. So I want you guys to look at the full video because the full video is definitely everything. But I'm going to stop it where we can shift to an assignment that's inspired by the content. So today's goal is we're going to review Francesca's video, and then we're going to create a contract for ourselves using these 6 definite steps from Think and Grow Rich. So let's watch this video and I'll tell you why I was inspired to create this assignment together with you all.
It's 2013. I'm 29 years old, about to turn 30, and I'm stressed about getting older. The year prior, I quit my job after I had a big viral video and I made like a good chunk of change. And I was like, I'm going to focus on content creation. I got an agent. I was auditioning and I was like, I'm going to make it. A year in, I was not making it. I had blown through my money. I was really struggling. I wasn't putting out content regularly. I wasn't auditioning a lot. And I was just like having a tough time. And there was this other creator who was like the same age as me. I think she's like a year younger, and she was absolutely killing it. Like she was tons of followers, lots of viral content. She was everywhere. And I didn't get it. I couldn't understand why she was popping off like that. I'm being totally honest. I was jealous. I was absolutely jealous. I felt like I should have been there instead of her. So then I go to this party, and I meet her at the party, and she's so nice. Because of course she is. And over the course of our conversation, I was genuinely blown away by her work ethic. Something she said that really broke my brain open was that when it came to creating content, she had created a contract with herself. And she knew no matter what, she had to put out content because she was not going to break that contract for herself.
That was the inspiration, that last line, okay? She was not going to break that contract with herself. There's a lot of things that Franchesca shares here that just allows us to see content creators beyond the screen, that we are humans and people. Now, and I say we because I don't know what will happen between now and forevermore, but I am I was gonna say countryside girl, but I'm far from countryside girl. But I'm a regular human being in the United States of America who's passionate about talking and playing games and discussions and writing, and I want to invite people into this world But I remember Francesca from when I was younger and I was trying to figure out what to do with my hair. And she was doing all these different styles. And it's just a wonderful thing to see her flourish from this idea of being a content creator, and just the fact that at one point in time people didn't know what it meant to be a YouTuber, to be a content creator, and now this is something that we can all tap into. So I imagine that people who might come across this channel are inspired to be content creators, not only from, a platform, but really just the content that we create in our everyday lives, just journaling and writing. That's content we're creating, and we might not share, we might publish it, but overall we want to be these content creators that inspire others, that motivate others, that contributes to others in one way or the other. There's a lot of other going on. I am still working on my word choices, but I say this because there's a lot that we can learn from the people on the internet if we choose to learn it from them. And it's also about curating our feed. Now, here's the slippery slope about curating our feed is we can tap into this comparison trap. And that moment that she said that she was jealous, I think that's one of the most bravest things that you can do on the internet, because we do kind of see all of the highlight reels. And to that point, I don't know if we want to see all the worst reels. You know how people say when you come on the internet, you only show your best, and it's, are we supposed to sit here and look at all of the worst? And then I have to think about that too. We want people to have a great balance. And I think this is a piece of content that has balance, where we can see not only the person sharing their wins, they're also being honest about how they were jealous. And at the end, they also had something practical that we can take away from. So that's the storytelling line that we want to be able to gravitate to, is we can get all the good stories and we can have that good feeling and never really be motivated or inspired to do anything. We can get all the worst stories and just feel like, okay, there's no point in even trying, because it's just, the world is just all the crazy things. But we can be intentional about curating a feed in our lives where we are seeing both the good and the transparency, and then doing something with it. So what do I want us to do with this content? I want us to go through a contract together, and we're going to make this a little bit more personalized. And this is just one of the different assignments that you can get out of Think and Grow Rich. But we're going to start at a place where we're just looking at the 6 definite practical steps. And so I'm going to read each step, and I'm going to invite you all to journal with me if you're interested in just putting together that sentence to start this year off in 2025, where you can read it to yourself and apply it. I've noticed that sometimes in my own world, I will come across content or I'll want to do something, but I really don't have the consistency with it, or I haven't even wrote it down and made it something a part of my life. Once I started writing things down, I definitely started to embody it, and I can see the changes. It's so wonderful what the word can do. And I say the word, just the word itself, and also the word. That's why I have a large appreciation for the Bible, because there are principles in the 6 definite practical steps that align with scripture. Even when Franchesca was speaking, there's a scripture in 2 Corinthians that stood out to me when I first listened to the video, and I'm going to put that on the screen with you all. But in 2 Corinthians 10 and 12, it says, "We do not dare to classify or compare ourselves with some who commend themselves. When they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise." And so when we think about being wise and navigating this life, is actually easier than we're making it for ourselves. I think it's much easier for me to have a blue ocean and to create my own lane versus me looking at the next person and trying to measure myself up against them. And the thing is, just like Francesca shared, we all felt that way at one point. It's so many great content creators. There's so many people who are successful and can do everything. I mean, I have gone from wanting to be a doctor and a lawyer and a pastor and a comedian and a violinist, just because there's so many great people doing great things. It's like, I wonder if I can do that. But I don't limit myself, and I don't suggest that anyone watching this video limit themselves. I would try it all. Just try it out. Try life out. Write it out. Try to think of where you want to start. And so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to start with money. because money answers all things. And sometimes when I'm sitting in my world, I'm thinking about how I can support others. And most of the time it's the money. Marriages fail because of money. Sometimes when you want to support a friend, it's because of money. It's money that is making the decisions in some of these high places. And so although money is just a tool and a resource, there's a lot of energy that's going towards money. And so the idea that I would want to build for myself and anyone who also wants to be in that community is being able to have wealth, but also couple it with being able to have good character and to be mindful and intentional, good stewards of that money so that we can see how, if we stow that money the right way, it can be in the right places. So if you're interested in making money and you want to try out with a plan, this is what we're going to get into now. So the 6 definite steps, I'm going to read the first one to you all, and then we're going to write it out. So we're going to stay here. So we're going to stay here until we get through to step 6. Let's go ahead and read the first step. So the first step says here, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Be definite as to the amount. So going through step 1, you're just trying to figure out how much money you want. And so this is important because we can say, I want $5, to get some chips from the store. We can say, I want $150,000 to pay off my debt. I want $40,000 to start a business. So you want to get a number in your head. And I know this can be uncomfortable because how do I choose which number to use? Am I using a number for a lifetime? Am I going to make it too big that it's not obtainable? Am I going to make it small enough and not have enough confidence that I can attain it? I would suggest figure out some type of large debt or something that is limiting in your life as it relates to money that you want to clear out. We want to owe no man nothing, right? So if you have a lot of debt on your credit report or you have a lot of debt that you owe people, write out that number, figure out that number, and maybe not in this video, but I hope that you can at least get to maybe what you think that number is and a little beyond, and you can go back to adjust. It's not like set in stone, but we're going to start creating this contract with ourselves. So at the top of your page, you can title it, and this is what I would suggest to make it belong to you, My 6 Definite Practical Steps by, and then put your first and last name. Now, next to number 1, write out that number. So I'll share with you, the number is how much I need to pay off my student loans, because that's where I want to start. Now, is that the only debt that I had? Unfortunately, it's not, but I want to owe no man nothing, okay? But I'm going to start there because just having that clear debt is something that will give me a clear mind when it comes to that part of my life and that area. So let's go ahead to number 2. It says, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There's no such reality as something for nothing. So when we see Franchesca in her video, she is going on this journey. She quit her job, right? So she needed the money, right? So there's money that she wanted to obtain from this creation, this idea of being a content creator or getting these auditions, sharing her gifts. So what is it that you think your gift is? And if you don't know what your gift is there something that you're interested in? Is there something that you've seen someone do and you feel confident enough that you would go through the steps in order to be that thing or accomplish that thing so that you can provide that service to other people? So is it making people laugh? Is it teaching people how to dance? Is it teaching people in general? Something that you can teach something. If you go through your life and you take inventory of what people say to you or what they appreciate about you, what are those things? And do you believe, what are those things? And do you believe that you can make money from it? Belief systems are really important because I've seen people make money for just cuddling. I've seen people make money for just showing their feet. It's amazing what you can make money from. And I know that that's easier said than done. And these people could be lucky. But this is why we're trying this assignment out. We're trying to see what happens if we are intentional, if we do practice this every day, if we do write out our desires, if it really works. For some, they said that it works. So I'm inviting people who haven't tried it yet to do the same. Okay, so what are some of the questions that you can consider when you think about what it is that you can do to serve others. So sometimes I think about, what is it that I like? What do I pay money for? And then I transition and say, well, I do that same thing for somebody else. Most of the time it might be no, because I'm paying someone else to do it. But in other areas, it's like, oh, I could do that same thing. So we just scan our world, walk through our world, and just take a moment in time to think about what it is that you can do to serve others. And this can also be a humbling moment, because there's a scripture in the Bible, and I had to think about it, where it talks about being able to put others before ourselves. And I was thinking, like, why would I be putting others before myself? That means I'm going to be pouring from an empty cup. But now I understand, this is the whole, it's better to give than receive. It's once you start giving and you reap what you sow, and then the math starts mathing the way that it's supposed to math with that logic, you start to get these things back in return. So starting from a heart of being able to give and provide a service to other people, and then it being attached to what you are happy providing to others. Some may say you just provide a service and it could be very boring and you don't have to have an emotion to it. But I would challenge that theory. If you're going to be giving and you want to be given fully and without restraint, and you want to always be able to give, even if you never were paid for it, what would that thing be? And that's usually the common question is, what would you do in life if you weren't paid to do it? I would talk all day. I would play games and I would watch people be happy and grow, because I love that. I would provide them with resources and I would clap and I would smile and I would be a support system for them, because I love when people have a talent in the art and they're good at it. And I'm the people in the audience like, yay, okay? I'm the game show host where it's like, yeah, let's play this game. I like people having fun with each other. I like to watch and view that. So if I could do that for the rest of my life, I would do it amongst other things. Like if I could learn to play the guitar and make money from it, because that's what I got. I got a gift for a guitar. I had a new one and I'm so thankful for it. But I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to keep practicing so I can do it, because maybe I'll make money from that. But right now, I don't have that on my board. I had something that was a little bit practical because I'm a little bit logical. I wanted to think, what can I do to actually make money? One, I have two sections here, and this is where you can get creative. I have two sections here where one is being a little bit more off the ledge, like, hey, I wonder if I can actually make money from this. The other is like, I know this is practical, and so I can provide a plan around it. So just get in the mood of writing it. Okay, so let's read the third one. It says, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. So now, do you want to have this money at the end of Q3, at the end of Q1? Why did I go all the way to Q3? Do you want to have this in the next month? And I think this is also going to help you with choosing that amount. Because is it possible for you to get $50,000 in the next 2 months based off of our step 4, which you'll see? What is your plan? If you have the plan and you stick to the plan and the plan matches what you're doing, then yeah. So find that date. I wrote my date down. We're looking at number 3. So just write the date because it's all going to come together. Now, number 4, it says create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not to put this plan into action. This is something important. If you ever seem to disempower yourself because you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to do it, most of the people out here who are successful have failed a lot. And that's what Franchesca has mentioned. She mentioned in the video about her failure. And I learn more and more each day this comfort level with failure, because I know once I fail something or I do something and it doesn't work out the way I wanted to, I'm learning in the process. And as I learn in the process, I get better and better because I don't want to feel like that again. So what is it that you are interested in doing, but you have failure in the back of your head, and that's starting to paralyze you from doing anything? All right, so we got number 4. I hope you guys wrote down number 4. The 5th one is write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. So that we're getting that for number 1. The time limit for its acquisition, which we get from number 3. State what you intend to give in return for the money, which we got for number 2, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate, which is in 4. So we have 1 through 4. Now we're putting that all together in 5. So we're writing out the vision and we're making it plain. Okay. Writing, you know why I like the Bible so much? Because it has so many emphasis on the word and the power of the word and the power of our tongue and the manifestation of the word. And in different dominions and different divisions of life, when it comes to the power of the word, we know that it's important to speak life. And I know this is important because when people speak death and they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. As we see on the internet, people are hurt by words that are typed. People are triggered. People are moved by words. So if words can move us to say something hateful or to be divisive or to get upset, they also can move us to get some money, to make a dream, to live life in a joyful capacity. It's a theory. I don't know. We're going to try it out to see what happens from here. If y'all see me at the end of the year, y'all know what happened. I wrote out the vision. I made it plain. Okay. So let's look at number 6. It says, read your written statement out loud twice daily, once just before retiring at night and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. This is the practice. And I would imagine that doing this every single day, you will start to practice how to really embody this accomplishment that you want to achieve. So let's do it, y'all. Let's go ahead. Let's go through these 6 steps. If you didn't finish it today, if I went too fast, you pause through each step, go back to this. You can actually purchase the book yourself and look at it, because there's other assignments here to help us think and grow rich. But one of the things that I want us to take away is we're in the process of writing out our thoughts. We might not get it right. We might get some things wrong. We also might get things right. And so I want us just to practice where writing can take us, what being intentional about our thoughts can take us, because I have a theory that it can take us very far if we're intentional and consistent about it. And that's something that we'll always hear, is about that consistency. Franchesca brings it up in this video when she talks about how she wasn't consistent with her auditions or curating that content. So whatever it is that you want to do, the consistency doesn't mean that you're given a lot of quantity, that it has to be every single day. But what is this contract with yourself? And so as we close out today's video, remember the title of this is my 6 definite practical steps, and then put your name. And then as you get to the end, when you write out your written statement, you speak it out loud. The goal here is sign at the end. Make a line here that will consider this a contract. Maybe even sign your name. Whatever it is that you see when you sign contracts, maybe at the end of all those contracts that we never read on our apps, go ahead and sign it and then read it every day. So we are on January 2nd. By the time this video comes out, it's probably January 3rd or January 4th. But between this day, whenever you come across this video, and forevermore, continue this process. Rinse and repeat. Let's see where this takes us, if we need to adjust. So let's say, for instance, you wanted $150,000 and then in the next 3 months, and you set it every single day. Let's keep record of that I actually practiced this and I was consistent. I think this is one of the key notes that we can use in our journal is, if we say that something doesn't work, but we didn't apply it fully, then can we say that it doesn't work? So if I say I'm going to practice this, I'm going to speak life into my vision, and I'm going to say it just as it has been instructed here every single day, and I wrote it all out and I actually put the plan together, but it didn't happen, then we can pivot. But we might see some results that we started getting closer. We started to see whatever it is that we need. But this is the beauty in finding something that you're actually passionate about, because it might take a long time. right? Even when Franchesca was sharing, this was the beginning of her journey where we can see that she's been successful. She's now a TV writer, producer, doing the things that she loves. But at one point, the things that were hindering her is that, one, she was comparing herself and looking at someone else and thinking that she was better than them. And she wasn't curating enough content. So we have to be honest with ourselves, just as Franchesca was honest about being jealous of someone. That's really, really tough to say on the internet, because once you're in that space where people already think that you're jealous, like, oh, you're jealous of me, oh, she don't like me, it's like, yeah, you jealous. But when you can admit to yourself and be honest to yourself, that's new levels, right? That's self-awareness. That's like, okay, I can admit that I was jealous. I also had to admit that I'm not consistent. I also had to admit that I don't have any intentionality around the things I say I want to do. I had to admit that I am lazy. I have to admit that I do keep eating all that junk food, but I want to lose weight, right? We have to be honest with ourselves so that we can start to see this work a lot faster for ourselves. Because if we're writing out the vision, we're making it plain, and we're applying the steps, because we have here in step 4 a plan. And that might be something difficult to do, writing out your plan. But if you want any one-on-one support, you can click on the link in the description below, and we can work and process whatever it is you want to together. We can write this out. We can be patient and go through all different ideas that's available to you, because I want us all to make this plan. I want it to be simplified. I don't want us to overdo it. I want it to be something that's attainable, and we can keep multiplying. We can keep I can't think of the rest of the words. I'm just going to close the video out to now. Where am I? Until next time, hold on to you as much as you can. Hold on to your health, your well-being, and your mind. Be mindful. Bye.